Hello, hello, stargazers. Welcome in, welcome in. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Blank. Hello, Sea Hero. Hello, Vessa. Hello, Dual Thrones. Hello, Pumpkin Toss. Hello, Eve. How are you all doing today? I hope you're all having a good day so far. Oh my goodness. I did not get much time to prepare for stream, unfortunately. I'm glad you like the thumbnail, Vessa, because I made it in like 5 minutes before stream. I thought I had already made a thumbnail, and I hadn't, so I had to quickly whip something up. And I don't really know, like, what I'm doing today. Like, I'm not really sure the direction I'm going with the drawing, so I might ask your help for that. Actually, yeah, wait, I should have done a lot more research. I grabbed images of Yoshi and of potential background ideas, but I didn't grab, like... Oh, we'll figure it out as we go, I guess. Brainstorm stream is okay and fun? Yeah, it might end up being a brainstorm stream. Don't think, just feel when drawing. We don't know what we're doing either? Yeah, seems that that's kind of like a common sentiment these days, I guess. I'm gonna be a little bit open with you guys. I'm not in the best state right now, so I am going to try to do what I can today. But I might end up cutting the stream off. I don't want to do that. I'm just gonna have to sort of see how it goes. I hope you're alright with that. Yeah, I'm just sort of in a... I'm in a not so great, mental place, I guess. It'll be fine, it'll be fine. I just sorta... Oh. Oof. Thank you, guys. I just want to have fun today. Streams make me feel better. So... I'm gonna try to not let it bother me too much. Yeah. But thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Oh. Sorry, I'm trying to not get emotional off the bat. Alright. Let me just go to my main scene here. Let's see. We'll have chat up. There we go. There we go. Yeah, it's okay. It's all stuff that's gonna be okay. It's just, Tech is scary. Tech is scary. Anyway. Let's see. Let me see if I can try to get a, better brush for this. There we go. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Alright, okay. TLDR, just to, like, not worry anyone, because I'm fine. I'm fine. I just get emotional sometimes. But the TLDR is, like... I had a little bit of a wake-up call today, and saw what happens when something that I came up with is fed into AI. And it just got to me a bit. And it just kinda... it wasn't like a malicious person. It was actually someone who supports my work. And it was not done with malice, and I don't blame the person at all. But it kind of gave me a different outlook on things. Because it came from a consultation call. And, you know, they actually wanna, the irony is they wanna actually commission me to do, a cleaned up, finished thing. So they eventually do want the final product to be, you know, handmade. But, it just kind of threw me off, because it wasn't like a reference that they'd gotten from Pinterest or Mood Board or anything, it was like my concepts. So it just kind of, it's kind of messed up my head a little. Oh my gosh, hi Raylis. I'm sorry, you're seeing me in like my worst state right now. I apologize. I hope you're doing well, I hope you're doing well. So yeah, I don't want to worry anyone, but that's basically the TLDR. Is that it might kind of cause me to think about things in... I'm gonna have to... It's not that I have to adapt necessarily, but it's that I'm going to have to really look at things hard. I'm gonna have to really pivot with things. I'm gonna have to really, see where my... It's hard, right? Because, it's actually a mix of... You guys know that I have, like... They have to work on confidence stuff, right? And that's gonna be put to the test really, really heavily now. So, yeah, that's the TLDR. So, I'm okay. I wanted to give you a little bit of background, just so that you know that it's, like, not a huge, huge deal. I'm just very overly sensitive. But I'm just going to have to figure out how to take that information and move forward, basically. So, yeah. And again, I know that it was done without malice. It was just sort of a reality check. It was just sort of a, it was just sort of realizing where the inevitable is going, and then realizing that I'm gonna have to learn to adapt. So I am actually making the final piece. You know, they did want to hire a real artist for the final piece. So that's okay, you know, they could have just run off and said, oh, this is good enough, I'm just gonna roll with it. But no, they said, you know, I still appreciate your take, your input, and your handmade work. So they do want to continue working with me, but I think it was just the shock of seeing the image. And seeing that the robot made decisions that I wouldn't have even thought of, but sort of using my framework, it just kind of, it really got to me. So, the TLDR is, I think I need to really focus on learning how to be more conceptual. I think I just need to learn to, focus on being a designer. Because, as much as I still want to be improving the technical side, that is the most risky side to be on. So, I love illustration, I'm not gonna quit illustration, I'm not gonna stop it, but I do have to be realistic about some things. So, yeah. That's kind of your breakdown there. It's not that they used, like, a specific image, it's that I showed them what they could do to improve something, and essentially what I didn't realize is I had basically created the prompt. I gave them the information, and I essentially created the AI prompt without knowing it. And I had, like, you know, little sketches and little callouts and little add-ons and things like that. And that's kind of how it happened. So, yeah. Yeah, it was like, it was a little bit of a description, it was a little bit of a paint over, it was like, I basically gave away the whole recipe, and then I saw what happens when you give away the entire recipe. And now I understand why people gatekeep things, why people gatekeep information. But yeah, I essentially created an AI prompt without knowing it. I mean, I didn't literally, but like, I basically gave all of the ingredients and the instructions on how to make something. So, on the one hand, you know, I sort of have to realize that I was able to come up with the instructions, that was all my work. And that's kind of the part that I think I need to be focusing on, is the value in that, in knowing how to create the recipes. And unfortunately, that is kind of the part that not a lot of people value as much, so I have to sort of brand how valuable that is. I guess is the best way to say it. Yeah. In the face of generative AI, I substitute confidence with sheer unfiltered hatred. That being said, I have the luxury of no financial or professional aspiration. There is definitely a benefit to not wanting to try to make this a thing, to keep it fun and loose and explore to still to make it like more of a an adventurous hobby, I guess. Gatekeeping is the only way to keep something quality and keep the magic from being drained out. Yeah, there's a huge direction right now, I guess, of a lot of people hating anyone who is gatekeeping anything and wanting to like free all the information, and if you don't do it yourself, they'll do it for you. So that is getting harder and harder for sure. But I think I just sort of need to pivot and work my way through things and maybe make some adjustments. I don't know what the adjustments are. I'm actually really not sure what to do, but I'm gonna try to figure it out. It might take some time. Vesta, I appreciate that. You don't have to do that, but I thank you. You really do not have to do that, but I appreciate it a lot. I'll be okay. I'll be okay. I'll be okay. It's just a wake-up call, you know? But thank you. I appreciate that very much. Don't really know what to say. All I can say is do what you think is best. I'm not in the sphere to make an appropriate comment, but I will trust you. No, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. YouTube part lagged a little, and I clicked to make it return live. It jumped over to what you said you needed to value. I just basically need to value the recipe making part more. But, yeah, Vessa, thank you. I appreciate that. Alright, okay. I need to move on. I need to move on. So, okay. I know kind of what I want this to look like, but I'm gonna need your guys' help with some of the other parts. Because I know I want it to be a chibi. I know I kind of want it to be in this style that I've been like developing for others. Guys, you really don't have to do that. You really don't have to do that. That's really, really kind of you, even Vessa. Thank you. That's really, really kind of you both. Thank you. I really appreciate all of you guys. It's a tip for the Yoshi tribe. Okay. Okay. But still. I'm just really appreciative of you guys being here in general, you know? But really, thank you. Genuinely, thank you. I don't like to get emotional like this. I don't like to get all sad. I like to try to be, you know, I like to try to make all the environment positive, you know? But thank you, guys. Thank you guys a ton, really. Oh. I'll be okay. It's okay. I'm not like in any immediate jeopardy. I think I just need to I think I need to put more effort into my design side, because that's the part that machines aren't as good at, right? At least, you know, currently. But thank you guys. Really. It really means a lot. Alright. I might need to get your guys' help in here. It's okay to not feel happy 100% of the time. Thank you. I read the rest, but if I read it out loud, I'll cry again. But thank you. Congrats on surprise in 900 subs. 99 more to go to 1,000. Thank you, thank you. I think, like, the hardest thing when it comes to YouTube is the watch hour stuff, but I'm excited to hit 1K soon. I think that'll be really, really nice. Let's see, maybe something like that. I don't know if I should have an egg or not. I'm not sure. I was thinking like a plush egg, maybe. When you mean shift more to focus on design and conceptual stuff, what exactly do you mean by that? So, I'm not entirely sure, I guess. But, like... So what happened is, it was my idea stuff that got, like, given to the machine, right? Like, the prompts and stuff. But the machine can only output what it's given. So, it needs the prompts to make anything, and I was kind of the person that had the design side of it. So as people use that kind of thing more and more, you still hopefully sort of need an artist's take on things to get through, right? So in this kind of scary age, I need to learn to be more of a designer, I guess. So I don't really know what that means. In my head, all I can really think of is, like, I don't know, adoptables, charging more for consultation, not giving free sketches. I don't really know what it is. But that's kind of, like, where I'm trying to think about. Because, and like I said, I don't want to stop doing illustration. I love illustration so much, and I don't ever want to give that up. But I think I might need to, rebrand a little bit. and push areas of some things a little bit more than I would have before. Me, I've always seen my conceptual and design abilities the strongest suit, artistically speaking. I don't really think that'll save me from the Scourge. But it's like, it's kind of one of the only things that can, right? Being more an architect than an engineer. Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. Right? Like, the technical stuff can get copied more and more. And if you have things like, you know, original characters and original plots and directions, then there's still stuff that you're safe from. I don't know which direction I'm drawing this in. What the heck am I doing? I think this needs to be like a Kigurumi. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure things out. Maybe it should be like a Yoshi plushie? Or an egg plushie? I don't really know. The machine won't know why they're popping out the results. They cannot make up the reason or the story. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Alright, I think this is where I'm gonna need your guys' help. I don't really know which direction I'm going with this. I'm just sort of like mindlessly sketching right now. I was thinking that Yoshi was a good first one to do because we've got like the because Easter's coming up, so we've got like the egg motifs, egg symbols that we could do. So I was thinking maybe there's like an egg pattern in the background or the island. I don't entirely know what I'm doing. Even if you don't end up using the idea from this stream, just sketching things out and thinking and chatting with us is good. Yeah. I'm really, really grateful that I can just, like, chat with you guys. It genuinely means a lot. Just being able to, like, talk to you guys, I guess. I'm very grateful for that. Alright. But yeah, like, if you have any input on things, please let me know. There's a winged Yoshi, right? There's, like, a blue winged Yoshi. Maybe I should do something like that. Should I have my wings out, or are they stuck in the Kigurumi? Easter egg plot twist, it's been Yoshi all the time. I still think AI is gonna eat itself or price itself into irrelevance. The buy-in has always been high. That's true, but at the moment, they're not charging the average consumer anything. Like, yeah, there's a huge environmental impact, and there's a huge, like, carbon footprint, and there's a huge, investment that, you know, they keep having to, like, make crazier and crazier, stuff to power it. But at the moment, like, people are just using it for free and not really caring. Dual Thrones, that's very, very sweet of you. That's really, really, really kind of you. Thank you. I really, really appreciate your support. Thank you. Guys, even without the financial side, I swear just like being able to talk to you guys and to have this community means so much to me. But thank you, Dual Thrones. Sorry to ask, but with what you said, it won't affect your current and upcoming commissions, right? No, it won't. Like I said, I never want to stop drawing. I never want to stop being the engineer or the, whatchamacallit. I never want to stop being the person on the bottom run, so to speak. Because I love it too much. But I also think that I need to increase my skill sets, on the design sort of things, and it's ironic, right? Because I really do need to increase my skill sets in both areas. I need to get technically better, and I need to get conceptually better. But no, I don't want it to affect anything. I really don't. It's more so like, I'm extremely grateful for the commissions that I get, and they make me so happy. And the fact that we are part of a community that values handmade creativity so much is really a miracle at this point, honestly. There's very few communities where there truly is an appreciation for the handmade. So if there are people who still want me to do that handmade work, then I absolutely want to keep doing that handmade work. Being free isn't profitable. It'll start asking for money soon, like Netflix and YouTube did. Yeah, I mean, I think, Midjourney charges people money, but now chat doesn't. I don't know. The whole thing is so confusing on that side. I don't really know how it works, but... We're all here to help you get there. I'm just very grateful for you guys. If I can keep doing commissions for you guys, then that means a lot, you know? I mean, that's kind of one of the things I was sort of bothering with in a previous Twitter tweet, is like, oh, you know, what are people's ideas for waitlists and things? Because I get nervous sometimes, but I always try to not take on too much work so that I never have anyone waiting too long. But when you're doing freelance, there's always that balance of, like, making sure you have enough work and not running out and, like, you know, keeping things going. So, you know, with the AI threat, that just adds, like, a whole other wrench into the mix. So that's sort of why I was, like, trying to figure out the waitlist thing and trying to figure out the different directions and stuff like that. You know, it's always going to be on any freelancer's mind. People at the top will drain it, just need to survive. My brain is weird, just so called Starlight Twilight. You're okay. You're okay. It's all the pony references. Chaotic bomb bunny scratch your back. Oh, thank you, Dual Thrones. The important part is it's corporate driven and government subsidized. If business doesn't kill it, politics will. Who knows? It's one of those things where it's like, I hope it's not, like, yeah, the machine is so big right now, like, just I don't want to get into the politics of it, but I know that people will always make backups of backups to keep stuff like this alive. Trying to think of what works best here. Need to switch that around a little bit. It doesn't quite feel very Yoshi-like to me right now. I'm trying to think what might work. It needs like the silly nose thing? Probably, I don't know. This needs something like that? This just sort of looks like generic dinosaur. Sure, there's some fan art of characters wearing Yoshi costumes to give you an idea. Probably. Let's see here. Well, the cheap Temu one looks like this with the nose on the top of your head. Oh, it probably helps if there's a if I don't forget the spines. That probably does a good amount of help here. I guess there's sort of two ways we can go about doing it. Wait, how many spines does Yoshi have? He's got 3? He's got 3, okay. So I guess there's like 2 different ways we could do this. We could do the spines here, which definitely helps. Or we could do the here, I'll separate this. Or we could do the big mouth with the eyeballs. Thank you very much, Sea Hero. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. That's not what his eyes look like. What am I doing here? Vessa, you don't need to Alright. I'm not sure how I feel about this. This is kind of looking weirdly like tribe animal hunted on head-ish. I don't think that's kind of the look we want. Sorry, my cat jumped on the keyboard and typed that. There are crazy people who own and operate ham radios, forge swords in their garage, and run forum-based websites at a financial loss just because they can. There's always hope. That's true, that's true. Yoshi Cubone, oh my gosh. Yeah, maybe I don't want this kind of direction. I'm not really sure. Does it make it any... Do you guys have any opinions one way or the other? It's like with the face and then just with the design. Something about the eye feels odd. I do agree, yeah. But there was not a good way that I could, I agree that it feels odd. It's kind of a tricky one. It's because his nose is usually what holds the eye. So because of this angle, it doesn't look great. Let me see if there's, yeah. It's not easy to do because his nose usually covered, unless I make it higher maybe? And then it just sort of would go over my hair, I guess? It's not an easy shape at all. Alright, let me see if anyone else has ever tried doing this. Nope, that's face forward, that's different. Maybe this is too big. Maybe if it was like this? I don't even know if I'm doing this version. I'm just trying to give both a fair chance in design. Maybe it needs to be a little bit bigger overall. Maybe that makes it more fair. Alright. It looks better this way. And then it would have the spines, I guess. So, okay, there's the goofy, cartoony Yoshi version, and then there's the kind of regular dinosaur version that would look like Yoshi with color. What do you guys... I kind of have a feeling of what you guys are gonna go with, but I'm still opening it up. Do the poll. Oh, I forgot we have a poll. Thank you. I always forget that we have a poll. I guess on the YouTube side? I always forget we have abilities for polls. Let's see here. Is it? Pole. Okay. Headpiece. Alright. Maybe that worked? And I'll flip through them so that you guys can see the other one as well. I keep forgetting that we have polls. Thank you for reminding me that we have polls. Terry Pratchett was a real one. Part of me is glad he's one of the greats that didn't have to see all this. Part of me wishes we could have gotten a Miyazaki-esque. I am utterly disgusted. That's fair, yeah. The thing with Miyazaki, the thing with the Miyazaki quote is he had, like, a legitimate personal reason, because the whole thing with that, like, computer-generated movement is he was really disgusted because he felt like it was mimicking his disabled friend. So there is a little bit of out-of-contextness to that, but I think he's still legitimately valid for it. My brain still translates Miyazaki to the FromSoft creator. That'll probably never go away, to be honest. Okay. Are we good with the polls here? Lily, hello, hello, welcome in, welcome in. I hope you're doing well today. Hello, hello. Alright. I'll keep it open for like 2 more minutes, I guess. Miyazaki, craziest collab of all time. So, like... FromSoft, but Ghibli style. That'll be interesting, wouldn't it? Or what if it was like, Princess Mononoke, but like, very, very realistic. I know there's a lot of people who would probably really like that. I personally like it in its stylized form more. FromSoft makes a game in Ghibli style, Ghibli makes a film in FromSoft style. There you go. With his way of expressing himself, Pratchett's statement condemning all the craziness would be epic. Hear me out. Ghibli Dark Souls anime. That would actually be really cool. I would check that out. Because there's so much, like, deep lore that you could play with for that, right? No? What if it was like, what if it was like, I feel like there's a lot you can do with Elden Ring, right? Again, not using AI, not using the AI-style Ghibli stuff, that would be really evil. But, I don't know. I mean, they're not opposed to doing darker themes. Whenever I hear Miyazaki, my brain enters a quantum state between the two and collapses into one of them once further context is provided. Alright, I don't think this poll is gonna change too much, so... we'll close it here, I guess. It was a very much landslide. That's fine. I'm okay with these little chibi pieces. On the goofier side. I was about to vote. I'm sorry! I kept it open! I said I was... I'm sorry! I'm sorry, Rain Hero. I apologize. I hope that I hope the option is still okay. I think it still probably would have gone that way because this was very much landslide. I would have voted for the landslide one, I just got here anyway. Okay. Fair enough, fair enough. Alright. We're going with Goofy then. I'm alright with Goofy, that's fine. And, Sierra, I'm glad you mentioned something about the eyes, because I agreed, I was not nailing it correctly. It takes a few times sometimes to get the right look. Let's see, it's usually a little bit, I think his spikes are usually rounded, aren't they? Yeah, they're rounded. Okay. Let's see. Schrodinger's brain, a Mobius strip of neurons, riding the wave of cel-shaded art and radio signals simultaneously with both Miyazaki and Miyazaki until observed by a Miyazaki fan. I love the way you worded that. Also, funny you mentioned Mobius strip. The other day I had posted on Twitter that I accidentally drew a Mobius strip in clothing. And I made a post earlier, and it was like, you guys can't just be aware of your art layers, you have to be aware of your clothing layers too. Because I drew a piece of clothing that could not exist in real life. Which was both impressive and disturbing, I guess? It was a deliberate reference to your post. Oh my gosh. Yeah, for those of you who didn't see it, I did like a, be careful, that's how you summon Dolphin. Oh dear. Let me see if I can remember how I drew it. Because I was trying to draw sleeves, right? I was trying to draw, like, sleeves with hands. And it has 2 layers, because it's, like, kimono style. So I had this part going outward, right? And then, this back piece. And then, how did this go? I think I did something like this. And then... No, no, the back, yeah, back piece did this. Inner sleeve did this. If you weren't paying attention, this is a Mobius strip. It's like, it's less like a literal Mobius strip and more like a visual optical illusion. Because, what happened, I'm trying to draw it like a little bit more accurately to how I did this. Yeah, I think, did it do something? Yeah, I think it went like this, and then like this, or something. I don't quite remember how this part added up, but essentially, let me see if I can break it up, because it's amusing to me. So, this part right here is going in front of this part, right? Think of like a two-sleeved garment. You've got your undershirt that is longer, and then your overshirt that is shorter. So then what I did, as it's going around, is this piece, I'll just make it like a slightly different color, then starts going into the back, and then this piece starts going into the front. You can't actually do that in real life. Does that make sense? Can you see it? Because like you can't. If that's a side view, if it's not like at an angle, then you can't actually do that. That can't actually be a piece of clothing. The laws of reality are just suggestions. The only way that that would work as a piece of clothing is if you did something like this. If you had, like, one piece here, and then the person's arm, right? And then you, like, intentionally cut this part out, like, further. Like, I'm exaggerating it here to make a point, but if you were to chop this up and, like, you know, stitch it maybe here, here, and here or something, so that it's, like, it's, like, cut in. But if you're doing an almost side view, where it should be, for the most part, parallel, then you can't have this weird thing going on. You know? That makes sense, right? It technically works if the piece of clothing was tailored badly. The fabric could also sit weird, which is why the undergarment only sticks out on one side. It's not proper, though. It's definitely not proper. Elden Ring lore that I will always think is cool is Radam basically Noah for defeated Melania left-handed while holding the entire sky in place. That's about the only piece of Elden Ring lore that I do know. Hang on a sec. What is a Mobius strip? A Mobius strip is a, is like a geometric shape that doesn't have an end. Would I be able to draw it on my own? I don't think so, but if it was like, see if I can draw it from memory. I don't think I'll be able to, though. If it was like this, that. Is that right? Hang on. I'm trying to draw this from memory. I don't think it's gonna work. And I also don't think a drawing is gonna really do it. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna really work out. Wait, maybe? Maybe? It's... No. I can't draw it. I'm trying to draw it, but it's like, it's so confusing. I'll pull up a picture. I almost had it. Yeah, okay. That's better. I was very close. Wait, actually, is it that? Just I forgot to flip one of the sides? I think I just forgot to flip one of the sides. If I did that, this, 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 and that. There we go. So this has a little bit of shading here, so you can see which part is where. So if you have this as like a 3D plane, then it would start going in on itself and around. Does that make sense? Let me make it a little bit bigger. Then I'll just do this, this, and this. Oh look, it's chrome! That was not intentional. So yeah, if you tried to follow that, it's going up and around infinitum. The little knot, that's my prefrontal cortex, exactly. You can very easily make a Mobius strip by taking a strip of paper, taping the ends together, so there's a single 180 twist. Yeah, I just couldn't remember how to draw it off the top of my head. As a digital artist, it's something I might need to know, that's why I ask. It's less a digital artist thing and more so a science-y thing. But yeah, if you don't want to create a Mobius strip out of your fabric, that's always a good idea too. So you can see what I was saying here, right? This more orangey pink piece is in the front, and then this is like the yellow piece where it shows it's in the back, and then as it becomes the green piece, suddenly it goes to the front. So yeah, you'd either have to have it very poorly tailored. Infinite perspective, yeah. So if I had to fix this, it's a very simple fix. You just didn't see it, right? Just keep it in the back. But I wasn't paying attention to that. So I made it into sort of a fabric Mobius. That makes sense, right? I want to make a magical lock that is a Mobius strip now, or some other geometric paradox. Well, there's many to choose from. I like this kind of thing because I like sacred geometry. Alright. Get rid of you guys. There we go. Yeah, I like that kind of stuff. I like the kind of, like, optical illusions, sacred geometry, weird things that don't connect correctly. Or just, like, puzzles and stuff, right? I think that kind of stuff is really interesting. Here, I might make, like, a zipper showing through or something here. I don't know. And then Yoshi doesn't really have, like, dinosaur hands. He's got, like, hands, but I think the dinosaur ones are cuter, to be honest. I know he's got, like, so many humanoid features, like the humanoid-ish hands and the sneakers. But I like a more dinosaurish look. I always pride myself of approaching every single piece of clothing I design as a real garment made by people, worn by people with practical considerations. See, that's really good to have. That's really, really good to do. Or as someone has told me that their fashion design school has always repeated to them, that's lovely looking, now how do you get into it? That's like a main thing that they will teach you in fashion merchandising and stuff, is like, okay, you know, you made a great design, that's a wonderful sketch, it's very pretty, now how do you get into it? And a lot of people don't consider that. I'm gonna stylize the hands a little, just because I like more of a actual, like, beast-like hand. That's why I heavily research comparable historical clothing pieces and styles as reference, not just visually, but also researching what each part was originally meant for. Yeah, I think that's a really good, definitely good to keep doing the research on that, right? That's also how you stay ahead of the robot stuff, is if you know how things work, you can see when something's not connected correctly, totally broken, and you can say, hey, my work doesn't do that, because I actually know how to do research. You can say it's stretchy material, you just climb out the mouth. What does it look like, huh? And I think what does the egg look like? I think the egg just has two spots, if I remember correctly. Because I did an asset of this one, so I think it's just the 2 spots. And then the strange, like, very humanoid shoe. There actually is in one of the rulebooks, I forget which game it's for, but there actually is a picture of I think it's a Shy Guy? A Shy Guy stealing one of Yoshi's shoes. And you can see, like, his little dino feet. But he does not seem happy with it. He's like, he's crying in the picture, and he's pointing to his bare foot. Like, I need my shoe back. Speaking of Miyazaki earlier, I've watched a video essay about his marvelous flying machines, how they never forget the pilot. Wow. That's really cool. Wait, like, so we're talking about, Hayao Miyazaki, right? Because he's done a lot of the flying machine type of art. Essentially the same philosophy, why the machines always look so plausible despite the outlandishness, and above all, always lived in. Because, like, Hayao Miyazaki has done a lot of movies that have, like, war theme, right? So he has a lot of reference for that kind of thing. So I'm guessing you're talking Ghibli stuff. Like Wind Rises type of deal? Which I still need to see, by the way. A lot of his movies seem to be Renaissance age. A lot of his movies are either during times of war or during times after war. That is not where your leg would go. Hang on. This is... Here. Here. Okay, that needs to be altered a little bit. Power of Anatomy, right? Like, it has to at least feel believable to some degree. Even if it's silly and chibi and things like that. Alright, I think that's pretty good. It's still a little bit off. Maybe this is showing a bit too much. Yeah. I'll tighten that up a little bit. And then bring this down and a little wider. Yeah. Yeah. Make a little bit more of a tilt. Just because tilt usually looks better for chibi and also has better composition going on. Probably good. And I know these seem like small tweaks, but they're just like, you know, a little bit here, a little bit there, and it adds up over time. Watching Lapita as kid has fundamentally shaped my entire artistic output to this very day. That's fair. I was thinking during the Mobius loop discussion that those pinup poses that snap the person's spine in half would work with a Mobius loop. Oh my gosh. Potato. Indeed. Indeed potato. So I said earlier that Bloodborne would be a greater fit for Ghibli. A lot of the movies take place during the early-ish industrial age and cover themes of beasthood. Ah, interesting, interesting. I don't know anything about Bloodborne. I've only seen my friends play Elden Ring. That's the extent that I understand of the Souls-likes. Alright. Bloodborne scary, I imagine. Alright, that's better. Should I have the wings or no? This feels so strange without my wings and tail, so I'm curious what you guys think. I still bet you'd like Sekiro though? From a theme and aesthetic place, gameplay is hard. Yeah. I know it's sad, right? Because it actually looks really, really visually nice, but it does seem like it would be too hard. No wings? They're stuffed in the shell. And tail is stuffed in the tail part. Alright, fair enough. It's a good thing that there's a shell then, because otherwise things would be a lot more cramped. Bloodborne's aesthetic is pre-industrial Victoria era, mixed with werewolves and Cthulhu. Interesting. That is a combo. Alright, in that case I'm gonna make the shell a little bit easier to see. Also, I saw in the, what was it? The images and media channel, you guys want me to add another emote to the collection? Is that it? Let's see. Yeah, that's better. Bring more crystal apples. I haven't considered adding an emote of any Stargazer besides Prism. But I could consider it. Where are the seam lines on a Kigurumi? Oh, there's the color as well. Hang on. I'm losing my own hairstyle in this. Hang on. How is this working? Okay. And this is gonna have to be a little bit more pushed, I guess? Something like that. Which stargazer would it be? I vote Vesa. I just want one of the pink one facing forward, doing the exact same expression as if the camera angle in the Bakadoodle was turned to see it from Prism's point of view. It doesn't even have to be super fancy drawn, you can just do it simple. We have an existing emote that might be perfect to reference for that. Vesa, you know the emote that we have in the server of rarity? Like MLP rarity? Like that kind of thing. Jubilee and FromSoft properties often take place in liminal setting, where history has reached a turning point and the world is about to change dramatically. They fit together surprisingly well. Interesting, interesting. So what kind of beast toad are we talking about? Because I don't think beast is always a bad thing, right? I mean, I'm a little bit biased, but... yeah, that one. Would that work? I feel something like that could basically fit. I need to go back a little bit. See what this looked like before. Okay. I could just not have that part. Or at least a little bit less, maybe. It's not quite accurate, but I think it fills the space well, so I'm gonna keep it for compositional reasons. One of the game's many powerful reminders that hunting beasts doesn't protect you from becoming one. Dang. The werewolves came about because the humans had been drinking blood of crashed alien cosmic horrors because it initially cured them of disease. Interesting. Interesting. Huh. That's kind of weird. Alien equates to werewolf? Not normally what you would expect, but okay. Now, hang on a sec. I think I need to squash this a little bit. Because this is something that always happens if I am, too close to the sketch. Because of the angle that I work at. Let's see here. A little bit. Yeah, just a little bit more, I think. Maybe just on the body. I just grab this piece and push it up a little bit. And then I'll try to, Sometimes hard for me to match the right look. I'm looking at a previous piece that I did for somebody, and I'm trying to sort of get it back to that look, more or less. Maybe I'll just do this part. Just a little bit. Yeah, something like that I think is good. Just a little bit extra there. Alright. I'll save that. I don't think that's a bad sketch, actually. I think that that's, like, covers a lot of... checks a lot of boxes, I guess. Maybe tilt it just a little bit more. Yeah, that's better. What do you guys think the background should be? Because like I was saying before, right? I was thinking Easter, maybe the background is just like abstraction of eggs. What do you guys think? Because the previous time I did a chibi like this for somebody, I just made the background like a abstract galaxy. I don't feel like I don't feel like that works for this. I'm just trying to think of something. What color will the outfit be? Green, right? In a lot of ways, the beasts are created by endless violence and cruelty perpetrated to wipe them out. In a literal sense, the hunters, like the player, whose sole purpose is to hunt the beasts, eventually turn to beasts themselves. Interesting. Eggs out on the grass, sky, grasslands. Just checking, you mentioned blue Yoshi with wings earlier. I did, but then you said no wings. You said no wings. That's better. I was thinking like sitting on one of the hills with blue sky behind and some other eggs. Alright, let's see if I can rough something out here. So I sort of know where I'm going with things, I guess. And I think I'll try to do this, like, Yoshi's Island style, so it's a little bit more crayonish, which is kind of already the style that I'm working in for these. But it's actually, like, it naturally matches, ironically, so. Alright, there's a little bit more of a yellow. Oh, jeez. How'd I do that? Ugh. You guys. You guys. What is wrong with me? Look how awful that is. That is an art sin right there. That is egregious. Oh, jeez. We're gonna have to fix that. That is terrible. That is... How did I not see that one? That is awful. Awful, awful, awful. Yeah, we can't have those. We can't do that. We don't do that here. Yeah, all the tangents. We don't do that. We don't do the tangents. We'll do something real quick like this just to get the idea down. What do you guys say? If you have the time, I think playing around with the different colors would be fun, but if not, then green Yoshi is fine. I feel like green Yoshi is just the most recognizable one, right? TB Skyen does both design, thematic analysis of FromSoft games, also in Pokemon. Now we need Pokemon FromSoft collab. I'm sure people have done that as fan arts. Different colors with Yoshi? What are you thinking? I thought the green one was like the most recognizable, right? I mean, I know these would be different versions, but like I think I'll just go with what's standard. Oh yeah, Natyrix is cool. Natyrix does cool work. Wait, I think I forgot. Forgot this here. And here. There we go. It's so goofy looking. It's so goofy looking. I've never done something this silly in design work. Alright. So now we're thinking like, what are you guys saying here? Hang on. These are guides, those are guides. Okay. We live for silly. You're not wrong, that's true. Let's see here. We'll just make this just so it's easier to work with. And then if we go out of border, that's fine. Eggs in the grass, sky. Blue sky, eggs, okay. Let's see here. Let's see here. I want to take it home. Alright, hang on. Let me... Trying to grab screenshots from the game. It doesn't really do grass. It kind of does like this abstract thing. There's kind of this like abstract... What are these supposed to be, like flowers? Flower bundles, I guess? I'll redo this later with a crayon texture. I just want to get the concept down. And then there's like little abstract... This just looks like popcorn. And then these very intentionally, crudely made tulips. Which, you know, that works for Easter, because tulips are all Eastery, right? And then... What game are you basing the background off of? One of the newer Super Mario Bros. Or Yoshi's Island? I was gonna go with Yoshi's Island. But there's kind of like overlap with the Mario world as well, because they still have like those hill type of things, right? They still got this thing going on. You can make it a little bit lighter so it doesn't blend in so much. Yoshi's Island or Yoshi's Story? I don't know. I typed in Yoshi's Island. Is there a different one I should type in? I can do that. You guys have a preference? Check Yoshi's Story? Okay. Oh, that's very different looking. It's more cartoony, storybook looking. But Yoshi's Island has like the crayon-y look, doesn't it? Yoshi's Story is knitted. It's like amigurumi knitting. This looks like knitted yarn, which is probably how they got the idea for the more modern craft ones. It's been so long, I was just getting things mixed up too. Forget what I said. Okay, no worries, no worries. Loving the background? Thank you. It needs work, but we're getting there. No, it's fine if you got them mixed up. That's all right. Yeah, the screenshot I was looking at was Yoshi's Island, so it was this one. So it's like, it's got kind of similar hills, and then it has like these almost popcorn and rough tulip looking designs. So that's what I was looking at earlier. Let me see here. And it does have more of that, like, storybook look. So I'll make it look more storybook-like. How did I get on a different tab here? Let's see. Yeah, it's very coloring book-like, I would say. I'm trying to see if there's any better ones that look nicer. I don't think so, though. There is like a nice spring level, actually. This might be nice. Hang on a sec. Oh, there's like some full-on paintings in here too. This one's actually kind of cute. There we go. This one's kind of nice with the pink because the pink and the green is like a really good foil, and it also kind of has that springtime feeling. I always love how they have a lot of depth and dimension of the shadow and the rock on top of the mountain. Yeah. It's interesting because it's actually like so much darker in tone than you would think for the actual gameplay. You know, I actually do really like the pink kind of cherry blossom feeling. I think I'll go with that because it fits the spring vibe. Since this is sort of more of a spring piece with the eggs and everything. I think I might actually do that. Alright, let's try that. Yeah, we can make this a little bit nicer, I think. Let's try that. Well, okay, I'll make a layer on top just in case we don't like it. But no, I think that'll work well actually, because it's a good foil piece. It's a good contrast. We'll do something like this real quick. And there's kind of like the random little dots that kind of have a little bit of that cherry blossom feeling. And then in the front, it's not cherry blossoms, it's bushes. And then there's purplish flowers in the front here. Something like that. I'm drawing it very crudely right now just to get the idea down. And then if we add a third one, then, you know, 3 is always good. You always want uneven things when you're doing collections of stuff. It always looks more natural to have it uneven numbers. And then it is a little bit darker. I want to try to keep the piece lighter if I can. But maybe if I do like a purple? Purple might work. And then let's make this pink again. Because the green on the green is not gonna work well. And then apparently there's some of these things that have like spikes. I don't really know what the spikes are, but it kind of looks like ice cream with chocolate chips. And then there's kind of like a highlight on each area here. And then there's like, what are these things? Make that a little bit larger, I think, here. And sort of like crystal-y areas here, which is kind of cool. Not biased at all there. These are just... Alright, these are just white. And then... There's a little bit of variation here, of course. Between light and dark. And there's also, also different levels here. There's sort of like bushes in the back as well that are a little bit lighter. I might have to move the whole thing down slightly. But I don't want to... Alright, I'm gonna have to split it up a little bit, I think. And then... Maybe something like this. The strange little spikes on the top. I don't really get what the spikes are, but it's consistent, so... Something like that. And then, where are we gonna fit the eggs? What are you asking? Wait, what? The baby in the Starlight version? Yeah, it probably would be Prism, wouldn't it? Let's see here. Actually, wait, I should reverse this, I think. Make this larger. And then maybe make this smaller, actually, so that it blends in nicer. So that we're not... Yeah. Yep, I think that's a better balance of things, I think. It's too busy. It's too busy otherwise. I'm just sort of I'm playing around with shapes a little bit. Trying to not create tangents. Trying to make things look visually interesting if I can. Move this is out a little bit more. And this is a little bit more aqua. And then have like a little bit of a darker tone here so that it blends a little nicer. Or, a little darker. There we go. Maybe... There we go. And then... The clouds need to split, I think. I think I need to do something like that, so it's better. This will go further down. It makes it feel a little bit less even, I think, but... That's better. Maybe bundle would contain a whole collection of the first batch of stargazers. If you wanted to do multiple eggs, you could do a basket with mini eggs instead of one large egg. So what I'm thinking... See, I like the large egg because it's like just giant plush. I don't know. I just kind of like the feeling of just giant plush. But then there could also just be other eggs just sort of on the side here. Let me see if I can just quickly add that in. Like there'd be one there, one there, one there, one in the bushes, you know, stuff like this. And one hiding in the back here. Make them Easter eggs in the background. There you go. Yeah. I think I'm gonna end up, like, squashing all of this so that it doesn't get cut off if people have, like, different phone type and whatnot. I'll make it a little bit higher than the previous designs would have normally been. So if I go, like... I wanna make sure that this is all loose. Right? Okay. Something like that, so more will show. Because where's my cutoff point? I think my cutoff point is... Alright, my cutoff point is here. And then here on the other one. So that's sort of basically like your safe area that I'm working with. So as long as we can see like tiny bits of the tips of the eggs, then they're still included. As opposed to if I did this, then we probably would have lost a few. Just gonna push all that out. Make them a little taller, maybe. Put that one here. What other... Wait, that's probably gonna be darker, right? There could be another green one. How many different colors of eggs are there? Hang on. Yoshi's Island, all egg colors. Oh, there's a lot more. Oh, there's a lot. Oh, there's a lot. I didn't think there were that many. Oh, shoot. We can't do all of these. There's too many. There's... Okay. Oh, there's as many egg colors as there are colors of Yoshi, and there's like every color of Yoshi. Green, yellow, red are the main ones. Okay. There's a Yoshi's story picture that shows 6, so I'll go with that, because there's 6. So it's kind of a mix of Yoshi's Island and Yoshi's Story, I guess. Wait, how many do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, you know, I'll go with that. Let's try that. It's gonna be a little bit darker then. And then there's a pink one, which I think I should put here. And then the red one will go here, because there will be more contrast with the pink flower. And then instead of the green, we'll do the cyan one. And then that should cover all the Yoshi egg colors, more or less. And I'll add like another spot here somewhere. I'll rearrange that a little nicer. Alright, what do we think of this for the layout? Oh, hang on. Can add some more things here. Oh. And then we could always add like a few more of the extra flowers here. What else would be fun but not too intrusive? You can always add like a... I'll try doing this texture too, where they have like a, kind of this overall scratchy thing going on. Hang on a sec. I'll make that look better, but that's like one of the tricks that they're using in the background, it seems. You guys see anything else I might be missing? I'm trying to see if there's any other, pieces to the puzzle, I guess. But if I did this and then, like, rendered it out and had it, like, all crayon color. Or not crayon color, but, like, crayon texture. Because I'm gonna have to, like, do the line art and everything. Jump effects? Like... Is that gonna show? I'm not sure if it's gonna show up. Like a little whoosh. I did like... I want to do that better. I don't want it to look weird. If I did it like... does that work better? I feel like that works better. And then maybe that gives more context if I did like some sort of like, what would work best for that? No, it's too crowded. I think that works best. I'm glad you guys think so. I'm glad you guys think so. Yeah, no worries, Sierra. No worries. Yeah, I guess this is probably where we will go with things then. So this is most likely going to be our, You think this is the best wallpaper so far? This is, I'm not gonna lie. This is not something that I would have done on my own. This was definitely a, step outside of my comfort zone. This was due to you guys, like, encouraging me to try new things, basically. To try things that were, like, a little bit more out there. So, yeah. I wouldn't have done this without you guys. I really wouldn't have. Even if it isn't what you normally do, how are you feeling about it so far? I think it's funny. I think it's silly. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I think I found, like, a way to do it that I can, find it funny. Do you enjoy it, or is it still too much? It's not too much. It's just, it's something to get used to, I guess? It's something to, I don't know. It's something to realize could be, like, a new, way of being more comfortable with things, I guess, is the best way to say it. I don't think that really said it the best, actually. That really didn't explain much. But yeah, no, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. It's growing on me. Yeah, there you go. It's growing on me. It doesn't mean that I'm open to everything, but it means that I am getting more comfortable with things. Starlight meme art. I don't know. It's funny. There's a part of me that kind of wants to make this into, like, your character here stuff, but I also know that you guys probably want it to be more on the exclusive side for this. Can't wait to see what you do with the other two runner-ups. I will say, it does help that they are in chibi. If they're in chibi, they kind of lend themselves more to being, open to that kind of thing. With the more realistic, detailed one that I have to do, I am glad that it ended up being free rent, I think. Yeah. I think I'm happy with the way it went. I was really surprised how many people voted free rent, to be fair. And I hadn't seen free rent before then. I started watching it, and I really, 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 really like it. So I'm good with that direction. Better free run than hyper-realistic Yoshi. Totally expected Miko to win round 1, not gonna lie. Yeah, I was surprised about that, but it was like, I don't know, it was the same on both platforms, so... But yeah, I'm really enjoying free run. I haven't finished, so please, no spoiler, but, it's beautifully, beautifully done. I voted Yoshi, but I'm more than happy with this wallpaper. I'm glad. I still wanted to make it so that, the runners-up still had something, so I'm going to I'm gonna clean this up and make it look all polished and stuff. Then yeah. I'll probably move the flowers and eggs up just a little bit more, just so we can make sure that things don't get cut off. Actually, I'll do that right now just so I don't forget. Where is that layer of things? There's this. Where'd the eggs go? Where'd the eggs go? Eggs. Let me move this up just a little bit just so I know what I need to do later. Just squish. Because basically the way that it is now is just so that, because, you know, phone stuff is weird these days, and I want to make sure that I'm not cutting off any particular design element. So then if I go, okay, selection here, it gets cut off a little bit, but not as much. It's about here, and then the other part is about here. So no important information is being chopped, which I think is important. And then we'll move this down just a little bit more, just to make sure that we're keeping everything here. That's the stuff that gets covered by the UI anyway, right? There we go. I feel like I want the current version. Being rough is super cute. I mean, I can give you guys the work in progress if you want. But no, I'll finish it off. I'm gonna finish it off. If you guys want a work in progress, you can have it. Just Eve things, okay. I'll at least not make the egg die. I think the egg died a little here. There we go. No egg falling apart. I like how we plan to make the runners-up wallpaper goals for the IRIAM event, and we blew past. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that, that's for sure. That's for sure. But I'm really glad, in a way, that we could sort of tie them together, because I feel like being able to create wallpapers of all of them is, like, it's gonna be a lot of work on my end, but it makes me feel like things are sort of balanced, I suppose. I was shocked by how far the goth went. I had and still wish for something that is an actual contrast to your ordinary color scheme. Hopefully it can happen in the future. What do you mean, a contrast to my ordinary color scheme? I'm shocked the goth didn't win. I actually kind of am too, considering how much you guys, talk about it. No egg die, egg live. Yeah, egg live. What were the goals? I don't think you told us because we broke them before it started. I don't actually remember. Away from the blue periwinkle? So you guys want, like, a full color swap? Because the contest was for a cosplay. The contest was for a cosplay where I would be, like, keeping the identifiable parts of myself and then having different clothing. I'm guessing his thoughts. That's fair. But I wasn't doing wigs or anything, because I feel like if I went too far, then it would just, like, kind of lose recognition. Everyone talks about Yoshi, Gothstar, and Mikustar, but all lost to Freerun, who no one ever mentioned ever, even during voting. Yeah, how did that happen? Genuinely, how did that happen? I don't know. But yeah, you guys have been talking about Yoshi for a long time. Yeah, I don't want to lose the identifiable feature, exactly. Your ordinary color elements are blue, white, and violet with a touch of yellow/gold. Freerun's white hair and light clothing, which is complementary rather than contrasting. True, 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 yeah. It's the twin tails. I was just going to have the twin tails be blue and pink. Because it's still, like, it's a cosplay, right? I wasn't... If you're putting on, like, a full wig, then you're doing, like, a really intense, full, like, I am the character type of thing. But if you're a VTuber doing a cosplay, I feel like you still need a little bit of yourself. Godstar will still appear in the Rachel wallpaper. That's true. I'm gonna have to figure out what the heck to do with that. Rachel Alucard. I even clipped Yoshi sound in preparation for Yoshi winning. Yoshi did technically win in some front. I mean, like, I could have made the winning thing as a wallpaper, but I decided that I wanted to make it like a landscape piece because I needed more landscape examples, actually. I could have just ended up making it a phone wallpaper, so instead you guys are getting full wallpaper and landscape piece, which I'm kind of nervous about, but we need Starlight to impersonate Birdo. I don't even know what Birdo sounds like. Yeah, getting all the goodies. There you go. I'm happy to do it. I'm really, really happy to be able to give back to you guys in some way. I think it's funny that this is what you guys want in some way, but I'm happy to do it still. So yeah, there's gonna be a Yoshi, there's gonna be Rachel Alucard, and what was the last one? San? Was it San? That's gonna be interesting. I think, yeah. How am I gonna do that one? I didn't see the tweet about it or how it'll be set up. I didn't really have one, I don't think. I just sort of had the contest, and then I was gonna, like, figure out the form of the drawing after. Yeah, I think it's San, I want to say. Like Sans from Undertale. It's San, Princess Mononoke. Oh, sorry. Did IRIAM say anything about the flyer event? I didn't see them tweet about it, how it'll be set up. So, I don't know what I'm allowed to say. But from my understanding, it's probably fine to say it. From my understanding, I believe that it is going to be, a digital thing. I still kind of want to see if I can convince anyone going to Offkai to get, like, an Offkai one. But from my understanding, they're going to have a digital one after the event. Yeah, I still really hope that, that I can find a way to get physical ones. Or at least, like... Are they still doing the prints for Offkai? They are doing the prints for Offkai. They're gonna be handed out to every person at Offkai. So there's gonna be, like, I think they said something crazy, like, they're gonna print out, like, 10k of them. So I feel like it could be possible to get one, but I don't know. But they're going to, they're gonna have a digital one after Offkai. But I would still like to see if I could get an Offkai one. I don't know if it'll happen. The bright side, though, is that we'd be able to print it, like, any size, any quality. So there's a bonus there. I'll explore connection and see if I know anyone going, but I don't think so. No worries. I might try to message Offkai themselves, but I doubt that'll go anywhere. But on the bright side, like, we could print it out, like, any size, any way we wanted. We could have it, like, higher quality. I don't know. Maybe because they need to print so many, it'll be, like, on like, cheap paper, so we could have it on, like, you know, nicer paper. Thank you, Newbie Reaper. I appreciate it. Regardless of how it's printed, right? We're still smack dab on the front. Which is wild. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. There's some things that I've realized on the IRIAM side is that I just don't stream enough on there in general. I really like the platform in the sense of I like talking to you guys. But there is a part of me that kind of realizes, like, when I see those rankings that they do monthly where they show everybody in like, you know, how long you've streamed, how long you've I don't know, how many hours, how many fans, how many blah, 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 blah. So much of it is super dependent on being on just being like constant and daily. And a lot of those people are not on the YouTube and Twitch side. And I feel like in the long term, YouTube and Twitch is still really, really, really good to focus on. So I want to make sure that I don't lose that, which as a result means that I'm not on IRIAM as much as some other people. So I do acknowledge that the IRIAM side is really, really crazy sometimes. But I really like the low latency and I love being able to chat with you guys, and that is the part that I like the most on it. I'm not an IRIAM right now, so I can say this. I would like to eventually be able to implement things on the YouTube and Twitch side that feel IRIAM-like. I don't really know how I'm going to do that or how I'm going to implement it, but it is something that I would like to try adding so that we can make things fun and interactive no matter where we are. I think that that is a goal that I have for this year. It's something I would like to do for the summer, is I would like to have interactive stuff that is like that is also just as fun. I can never do anything about the latency side of it. That's just something that they're able to do that I cannot. But on the bright side, there won't be any destruction of phone battery. Yeah, Seraphine is Dual Thrones. Yeah. So, I kind of know where my limitation is with things, but I'm still extremely, extremely happy with what we've accomplished, and... Vessa. I think the most important part of it is that it has really... It's really boosted my confidence in the sense of having the community that I do. And I think that that's the most important thing that I can get out of it, is these chaotic bunnies. These chaotic bunnies having such a kind and caring connection to things. So no matter what platform we're on, whether we are on IRIAM or Twitch or YouTube or whatever, I want to still make it fun and engaging no matter what. Even if it's in the Discord. Even if you guys are, like, being crazy in the Discord, right? I think that it should be a matter less of the place and more of the people. Or, in this case, bunnies. So, that's the main thing to me. So if I can sort of give back and show my appreciation for you guys and dress in silly costumes and kigurumi, then I'm happy to. Because, yeah. You guys are genuinely very important to me. And I'm glad that you like how this is turning out so far. I'll probably work on this a little bit off stream, just so I can make sure that I'm paying attention to the style rendering. I might do a stream later that is, you know, quiet work stuff, like I did with the big explosion of Stargazer's piece. But today, I ironically have a meeting with IRIAM. It's just a basic checkup meeting that we have, just to, like, you know, make sure everything's going good and stuff like that. So, ironic, yeah. I think it'll all be good though. And again, major tell them the bunnies are coming. Again, major thanks for you guys though. I think I will probably wrap it up here. I will see you guys on the platform tomorrow. Probably won't be able to say any meeting stuff, but I think it'll all be good. Yeah, and in terms of what I was talking about earlier, thank you guys again for your emotional support with everything. It really, really means a lot, and I'm gonna figure out a way through this. I'm going to learn how to rise above it all, as I think everybody should in these kind of situations. So, as always, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, evening, or night, wherever you may be in the world or the worlds beyond. And thank you so much, Stargazers, and all the best.